I suspect you're building an audience for me, Facebook. You're building an audience? Really? You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. Papa Swole's got his audience. Oh, my bifocals were almost gone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming in to the daily motherfucking Swole. What up, DP? We got all the D's in here. Ladies, if you want the D, you got the Daily Swole, you got the Derek Palisade, you got the Dominic Knapp. You got all the D you want, so come on in. Come on in. Plenty of D here for everyone. Plenty of D here for everybody. Oh, 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 oh. Dude, I love the way I look on Facebook Live. Like the shadow here and the front-facing camera just looking yoked. And guess what? Tain't no joke. It tain't.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Everyone's here. Everyone's in the door. Thank you for liking and sharing the broadcast. Thank you for repping Daily Swole Club. Yes, indeed. Daily Swole. How much more D do you want? You want the... We heart the D. Everyone loves the D. Everyone loves the D. Guys like having the D. Women love getting the... Everyone loves... Just... The D is great. The D is great. The D is good shit. Welcome, everyone, to episode 347 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. And you get plenty of D. You get plenty of D, and you get plenty of B. B1 and B2. Thing 1 and Thing 2. Tons of gains to go around. Tons of gains. Thank you for liking the broadcast. Make sure you share. Make sure you share. Use the hashtag Daily Swole Club. You could also hashtag Ask Papa Swoleo. Going to be throwing down some more of those in the near future. So make sure you jump on that. And keep an eye on for all the places we can find Papa Swoleo. Of course, every day live here at 12 noon Eastern Time. You can catch me on YouTube at Swolenormous and the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. And of course, you can catch me on Instagram and all of those places. There's just so many things that's going on. There are new Swole motions, there's driving while gaining, there's a lot of content right here on Facebook, and I know I've been getting a lot of great feedback. Everyone's loving the videos here on Facebook, and that's great because it's a one-stop shop. You get all the stuff, all the beauty of Papa fucking Swoleo right here in one spot. So this is the place to be. Obviously, if you're watching, if you're just jumping in here, if you're just catching this episode by chance, make sure you like and follow the broadcast. And if you need to turn on your notifications, make sure you turn those notifications on so you get alerted. I don't think a lot of people know that there are different types of notifications. You can't just click follow. You have to actually click follow and then make the Daily Swole, make Swolenormous a priority so you can get alerted every single time that I go live. That being said, yes, Dominic is going live. The Yogi Mentor is going live in Premium today. So Premium members are going to get a great yoga demo. Let's get into the show. Today's episode is about protein. It's about protein intake and the amount of protein. When we talk about protein, we just discuss, I get a lot of people asking me what kind of protein powder I take, what kind of protein to eat, and we'll get into all those things, but let's talk about quantity first, because some of you are vegan, vegetarian, some of you eat meat and you don't regulate it, and to each their own. Like, again, to the details on each different concept or different style of eating right now. But let's talk a little bit about quantity and how much protein you actually need. And I think the issue with society in this sense is that most meals are so heavily based on protein, because in this country, everyone's so hardcore meat that we get a lot of times excessive amounts of protein. That's why we can have overload for the kidneys and overload the system in that sense, because we go so hard with the protein. It's not as big of a deal if you're exercising. And like I said, everyone's different, but it's not as big of a deal if you're exercising. If you're working out hard and you're training hard, lifting weights, and your body is repairing, when you're eating these types of foods and maybe in larger quantities, your body is using them. And I hope you understand that this is for people that are exercising. If you're not exercising, the requirements and the studies and the research shows that it's actually very minimal. It's like 0.36 grams per pound of body weight. So that would mean that the average person would only really require about 50 grams of protein or so for like a 150-pound person approximately. You could check my math, but it's really about 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. So it's like about 0.36 or so grams per pound of body weight. So for like a 150-pound person, it might be 50 grams or so. Okay, so I'm not giving you exact numbers here. So it's very low. And all of you are watching this because you're into fitness, you're into the bodybuilding scene, and you hear these things getting kicked around saying 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And then you're like, well, shit. If the human body only needs like 50 grams, and then you have people that are eating 300 grams, holy fucking difference. That's a huge difference. And a lot of people do things in excess. Welcome to life. Welcome to society. When you eat a lot of protein, let's say you eat a ton of protein, it's not like you eat a ton of protein, your kidneys fail today. So you don't get like instant feedback, and you can still see a lot of progress and a lot of growth. What happens with the average person that's not a professional bodybuilder, that's not taking anabolic steroids, that's not metabolizing proteins, at an elevated rate, for the average person that is exercising. I'm not even the average person that exercises. I'm far above average for the person, even for the people that exercise regularly. I am above average in that category. So you have to figure out where you really actually fall. People that don't exercise, that's the average. Most people don't exercise. So when you start exercising and you start becoming more physically active, it's not just, okay, I'm exercising 4 or 5 days a week. Okay, well, what's the intensity? If you're going think about this, you're exercising, you can call a long walk, 5 days a week. You can call that exercise. So you say, oh, I'm exercising 5 days a week. Does that mean you should be eating a shit ton of protein? No, you're going for a leisurely walk 5 days a week. Your intensity is very low. You're not doing a lot of cellular damage. You're not requiring your body to repair a lot in that sense. So it depends on the type of activity you're doing and also your end goals. So a couple things that protein can do is that it will help rebuild muscle tissue, but it'll also help give you more satisfaction. Carbs don't give you a lot of satisfaction. They kind of spike your insulin and you'll help you crash unless you're doing more high fiber like vegetables. Protein and fat is more satisfying. So when you're trying to lose weight, it's good to increase protein intake, but also increase the fat intake while you drop the carbs. You flush out water, you flush out all the processed stuff, and it helps you, aid for weight loss. When you're trying to rebuild muscle tissue, that's when you can start increasing your protein intake. It's like, I'm weight training. So now you're not walking. Now you're not walking 5 days a week. Now you're actually doing some higher intensity exercise. You're breaking the muscles down. You're causing damage. Your body has to actually physically repair. You don't have to do that much repair when you're doing a walk, when you're doing some kind of light, low intensity cardio. You don't have to repair that much. So when your intensity increases, when your resistance increases, when your overload increases, that's when you are ready to take the next step and increase your protein intake. And that's when you can start getting more towards maybe a gram per pound of body weight, depending on the activity. The more intense your training and the more frequent that intensity is, the greater your protein intake, yes, but think about this, also your caloric intake will be more, right? Because you're training harder, you're training more frequently. So it's not just like, I'm eating the same thing, I'm just exponentially increasing my protein. No, you're also eating more carbohydrates. You're also eating more, depends on your style of eating, but also increasing your fat. You're not just increasing protein, you're also increasing calories in general. So if you're training 6 days a week really hard and you're doing, let's say, yoga a few days a week and you're being active 7 days a week, you're gonna be able to consume more calories. And also, if you're trying to gain weight, if you're trying to gain muscle and build size, you're gonna have to eat maybe more than someone who's just looking to maintain. Or you're training 7 days a week and someone's trying to lose, obviously your intake might be a little bit lower. Because you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to lose size, you might increase the protein, cut the carbs more, so your overall caloric intake might be less. So it all depends on your goal, it depends on your style of training, and it just depends on, and the frequency of that training. So it doesn't matter if you go really hard 1 day a week. Well, that doesn't require you to eat 250 grams of protein a day. But if you're training really hard, lifting weights heavy, and you're doing it 6 days a week, and you're trying to bulk up, well, your protein intake, could increase far more than the average person. You're not going to be needing 50 grams of protein a day. You're going to be looking to consume more if you're training really hard, trying to bulk up, maybe 125, 150, or even 200, depending on your intensity, depending on your body weight. And remember, this is body weight, but it's also lean body mass. You know, it's body weight, but also your body is trying to repair lean tissue. So if you have a ton of extra body fat and you weigh 300 pounds, you don't need 300 grams of protein. You're gonna need a lot less because your lean mass is a lot lower. So this is where you also have to think about it. It's not just, we use that approximation, raw mass, but your extra body fat doesn't require protein to fuel fat. It's your lean mass. So you have to think about your body composition and what your goals are overall. So your excess in calories or your deficit in calories is going to depend on what your end goal is. You're trying to gain or lose weight, or, you know, build muscle, lose fat, that kind of thing. And what your frequency and intensity of exercise is. How hard are you training? What style of training are you doing? And how frequently are you doing that training? And that's where the protein is going to come into play. So if you're very active, your protein intake will be higher. If you're not very active, your protein intake could be much, much, much lower. And think about this. When people are sedentary, think about a 150-pound person. Let's say the requirement is, you know, 0.36 per pound of body weight. So that's like about 50-something grams of protein. Think about the average person in this country that's sedentary, that doesn't do anything. Do you think they eat more or less? You know, leave some comments, float some thumbs. Do you think they eat more or less? The average 150 or 160-pound person, do you think they eat more or less than 50 grams of protein a day if they're not exercising? If people aren't exercising, what are they doing? They're eating. They're stuffing their fucking face. 50 grams of protein is not much. It's not much. A lot more, Chris. Yeah, absolutely. A lot more. A lot more. So you have to think about how much excess people are getting, and then they're eating too much protein, too many carbs, too much fat. They're eating too much everything. And why is it too much? Think about this. Is it too much because they're eating too much? Or is it too much because they're not moving their fucking ass? Because all of a sudden you start moving, you start training hard, you start exercising, and then that 50, 60 grams of protein is most likely not enough. Is most likely not enough. And all you did was just change your activity level, not how you eat. That's why the 90-day dash, that's why my program starts with Fix Your Fitness. Do you guys that are taking the program, you can leave some comments if you're doing the 90-day dash program. Doesn't that make sense now? Why I talk about fixing your fitness? You fix your fitness and all of a sudden it makes the food a lot less impactful. It makes the food a lot less of an issue because all of a sudden you just flip the script just based on your activity alone. I'm not saying you solved all the problems. But what I'm saying is you have to focus on the thing that's the most important, and that's getting your butt moving, not whether or not you had enough broccoli today. You know, short term. You know, whether or not you ate, your body's meant to fast, your body's meant to like go without eating. Your body's meant not to get everything every day. That's why people live in different regions. We have a lot of foods that you would never get 1,000 years ago because they're on the other side of the world. We have them in our supermarket every fucking day. So we're designed to go without certain things. Our bodies are designed to create certain nutrients. Our body is designed to create certain, you know, vitamins from other, you know, products. So by getting your butt moving, you're eliminating a lot of the issues from food just by increasing your activity level. Okay? Can I give you an example of what 50 grams of protein looks like? I mean, it could be 2 pieces of chicken. 2 full chicken breasts could be 50 grams of protein. You know, one of those is probably 20, 30 grams of protein, depends on how big it is. So, I mean, start weighing stuff. Start looking at the back of the package and get a scale and weigh that shit. Start calculating how much you're actually eating. Just because you're full doesn't mean you're eating the right amount. Just because if you're still hungry doesn't mean you didn't eat enough. You could still be eating too much. You're just used to it, so your body still says, hey, I'm still hungry, I should be getting more food. And you're like, no, you shouldn't. I just have to retrain you. Or your body will lie to you. We'll get into that probably tomorrow. Let's talk about how the body lies to you with food tomorrow. Let's get into that tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining me for episode 347 of The Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in Israel, because when I flex, you flex, everyone gets jelly of these sick fucking gains. No, we all flex our biceps. We all flex our biceps. And if you haven't checked out the new releases on Swolenormous Apparel, hammer curls, and my goat shirt, fucking awesome. You can check it out, Swolenormousapparel.com. I have it pinned to this page. You guys get free shipping if you want to check that out. So don't miss out on that awesome new threads on Swolenormousapparel.com. Let's do a little Daily Swole Club. Daily Swole Club. Who here wants a little taste of the Papa Swolio? That came out really wrong, but who here wants to talk one-on-one and fucking throw shit down with Papa Swolenormous. Let's see who used the hashtag. Remember, like and share the broadcast. You have to like and share and use the Daily Swole Club. Javi Gomez, you are today's winner. Congratulations. Everyone give some thumbs up. Javi Gomez. JG, me. It's you. It's you, bro. Oh, I didn't even see you. Just said you just said me at the end. I just scrolled up and I found you. Congratulations, Javi. Everyone say congratulations, Javi. Everyone say yay, Javi. Throw some thumbs up. So Javi, your job right now is to message me right here on the Facebook page, and let's set up a time, and we'll FaceTime or we'll just talk on the phone, and we will throw down for a few minutes about what is up in your life and in your world. So remember, everyone, like, share the broadcast, hashtag Daily Swole Club for awesome giveaways. Been doing a lot of one-on-ones because I want to get to know the community a lot more. So make sure that you jump in on that. And if you're not a member of Swolenormous Premium, there's a link in the description of this post. And today, Dominic is going into some more yoga flows. Tomorrow, we got exercise demonstration. So a lot of content coming to Premium. If you need help, if you need that one-on-one atmosphere, if you need that community, if you need that group, Swolenormous Premium is the place for you. So make sure you click that link. 7-day free trial, videos, yoga flows, awesome collaboration and accountability for that group. And it's been helping a lot of people stick to their shit. And that's the number one thing, is doing it. You could do it for a week, you could do it for a month, but if you're not doing it every fucking day, all the time, you're not gonna see change. So consistency is everything. So if you're having trouble with that, make sure you sign up for Swolenormous Premium today. Try it out. I guarantee you'll love it. Thank you guys so much for joining me for episode 347. I'll see you tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, for episode 348. Peace.